Um, okay, on today's show, I've got somebody very special coming in to help me answer some questions. So we've got Alejandro Salvador from Tax and Legal, and Alejandro is also the Honorary British Consulate. So I'm going to be asking him some questions and some updates on driving licenses and the new non-lucrative visa. So hi Alejandro.
Hello David, hi. Good morning.
And welcome to the show. So Alejandro, a few questions I've had from some members about the driving licenses first of all. If you could just talk about that. So if an English person is here now in Spain, how does it work with the driving license and the exchange?
Well, now the deadline is getting again very close. We have until the 30th of April for those that didn't exchange before 2020 the driving license to the Spanish one. The deadline it's been extended until the 30th of April that you can drive with your British driving license. My opinion, or the general opinion, is that they are going to extend again, or at least there will be some mechanism to exchange your driving license, because they've been extending for almost 1 year already. So I think that the negotiations are taking place, and for some reason, I can't tell what, it's not yet resolved, but my opinion is that it will be probably in the future. Of course, as we are not 100% sure, some people are looking to take the test and pass the Spanish exam and see how it goes. Yeah.
But if the British people take the driving test, obviously it's going to be in Spanish, but there are several driving schools now that provide the test, the theory and the practical in English. So it's not the end of the world. There are places that are doing it in English. But do you think, I know I can't put you on the spot, but do you think that it will be an exchange system in the future where England will exchange with Spain? So if it's a reciprocal thing about changing the license, that looks inevitable, no?
Yes, for those that are a bit anxious and they want to finish with it, there is this possibility of taking the exams in English. You need to know that the exams are done in traffic offices, or the facilities of traffic. The schools, what they tell you or what they help you is to prepare that exams, and of course there are a few that they do it in English. But the good news is also that you can pass or get this test in your language. I think it's also in French and in German, so you could do it in your language. Yeah. But my opinion and the general opinion is that because they have been extending for almost a year right now, we think that they are going to exchange or open the mechanism to exchange. We don't have anything yet, and we are very close to the deadline, that is the 30th of April. But my opinion, as I said, is that everything will be fine.
Sure, great, okay. And but at the moment it's extended till the end of this month, is that correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. Okay, and another question I've had as well about the non-lucrative visa, as always, about people saying the amount of money after the first year. Now, I believe that you've had some customers that have extended the renewal after 1 year, so they've been here for 1 year on a non-lucrative visa already, is that correct?
Yeah, there is. People are worried because they're getting some advice and telling them, or the general advice I would say, is that when you renew for after the first year, you have to prove that you have funds or income or savings for the 2 years of the renewal that you have to apply. Our opinion, and it's not just our opinion, is confirmed by the authorities, at least in Almeria province, and I think in another provinces also, is that you will need just 1 year to prove. In fact, we have already applied for several clients for the renewal with just 1 year. We haven't got yet the resolution because it takes a while, but we think it's going to be successful. So for those that are thinking in coming and they are not sure because they couldn't prove these 2 years, I would tell them not to worry, because the renewal will be for 1 year.
Right, so just to be specifically clear on this, so after you've been here for 1 year on a non-lucrative visa, it's a renewal for 2 years, and that 2 years they will only ask you for 1 year's proof of income as the first year they've asked you, correct?
That's correct. So the first time you ask for it is for 1 year. Then you have to renew for 2 years, then another 2 years, and then you ask for the, let's say, the permanent residency. So in these 2 renewals of 2 years, people think that you need to prove income for these 2 years, and this is what we say no. You just need to prove that you have income or savings for just 1 year, the same as when you originally applied.
Perfect. Good. Hopefully we cleared that up, because there's still a lot of people, you know, that are still unsure about that. And also the other thing I push as well is that after 1 year on the non-lucrative visa, you can start to work here in Spain. That is correct as well, yes?
Yeah, that is correct. If you apply for the non-lucrative visa in England, you want to work or you want to start your business in Spain, when you renew, you have the possibility, if you get a job, of course, to apply through a different system, that is with a job. You will have to prove that you've been offered this job, but yes, you can renew. And the other option is if you decide to start a business yourself, there is this possibility of applying with what we call autonomo or self-employed.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the self-employed, and I recommend it to people that are starting a business here. Now, people say, well, is there a limit on the hours I can work? But you can work whatever hours you like, can't you? There's not a limit to the amount of hours, or so it can be part-time or full-time. There's no specific limit on the hours you can work.
No. In Spain, when someone is self-employed, you are self-employed 24 hours a day. You can work 1 hour of that day or 10 hours. We don't mind. It's not going to make any difference in the amount you pay or anything else, or the tax you pay. It will be always the same. So you can be on the system, be self-employed, and just work the hours that you are looking to do.
And something I like to tell people, which is what I did when I came here, was go self-employed, and you not only do get a pension, which I believe has gone up now. It's 20 years you have to be paying into it before you get a pension. Is that correct? 20 years? And then, but with your autonomo payments, they start off at around €70 for the first year. So, and that also includes your health cover for you and your wife and any children that live with you in the house, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, when you start being self-employed in Spain, people say that the big handicap is this amount we have to pay to cover what we call autonomo. It's a healthcare contribution that you have to pay every month to the Social Security. With that amount that you paid, as you are right saying that you start paying €70, and it goes gradually increasing up to 300, that is the amount of normal autonomous pay at the end of 2 years. So you will be paying a reduced amount, €70 the first 6 months, and it goes gradually increasing up to the €300 that we'll start paying when the business is placed for 2 years.
Yeah.
And yes, what you get from that? You get the possibility of getting free healthcare. You can go to any hospital in Spain and get any treatment, any surgery, anything that you may need, but not just for you. You can get it for your family, close family, your wife or spouse or children, yes.
Yeah.
Also, you are paying for a future pension. Of course, depends when you start paying that, but you are right saying that anyone that wants to retire in Spain needs to be paying in Spain at least for the last 20 years. The good news are that if you've been working in England and you came before the withdrawal agreement, before the Brexit, you can add the years that you worked in England. Imagine that you worked in England for 10 years and now you are going to work for another 10 years. So you can add both places of work and you will have the 20 years. It's not that you have to be working in Spain permanent for more than 20 years.
Oh, wow.
You could add the years that you've been working in England. So for example, in yourself, that you've been here for a big number of years, when you are about to retire, you could add the years that you work in England, and everything will, let's say, with that number is when you will get the pension.
That's good, yeah. I mean, I recommend to people that are thinking of coming here on a non-lucrative visa, use it as a holiday. Use that first year to get yourself set up, get your business ready, you know, get your van sign written if you're going to be that sort of way, or your shop done, and then you can start paying 70 a month you've got the health cover, because for the first year you have to have private health cover. So that takes off the private health cover because you're paying. So for 70 a month, you, your partner and your children are included in the medical, and you're doing proper paperwork here. You're legally registered and working after 12 months. So personally, I always say going autonomo here in Spain, self-employed, is a pretty good deal, really. Even though people will moan that it's €300 a month at the end of 2 years or whatever, it's still quite a good way to set up when you first move here to Spain. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, people are in the UK thinking that they cannot come, that it's very difficult, that it's not easy to live here. And we are telling options. You have some options. It's true that the initial, let's say, requirements are not as easy as it used to be when
Sure.
when the UK were in the European Union, but it's not impossible. And as you said, you can come the first year, locate yourself, look where you want to live, and all find a business that you would want to start. And then after the first year, you can start. And yes, you are paying these €70 to start with, and yes, you will have your healthcare cover. We need to say that one of the conditions or the requirements for those applying for the non-lucrative visa when they are back in England or anywhere else is that you have a private insurance medical policy.
Yeah.
So you just need to hire this medical policy for 1 year, and after the second year, if you work as an employee or you start your own business, then you don't have to renew it. So
Sure.
it's good.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, and then also another question that I've been asked is about the tax for people moving to Spain. If they've sold their property, their UK property, they've got the money in the bank or it's about to go in the bank, before they come here and buy it, they need to be a little bit careful because they might end up paying a lot of tax. So can we just explain that little loophole, as I call it?
Yeah, this is very important, and when I have meetings online with people that are looking to come, that I do very often, is what I tell them: look, if you just want to get one thing of everything that we've been talking, is this. In Spain, we work with the calendar year, so our fiscal year is exactly the same as the calendar year, goes from January up to December. One person that lives in Spain permanent for more than 6 months, so you live in Spain, rental or owning a house, doesn't matter, but you are living in Spain for more than 6 months, you are considered as fiscal resident here. Those that are considered fiscal resident in Spain do have to pay taxes in Spain. Now we are in the process of declaring last year, 2021, from January up to December. Those that they've been resident in Spain in 2021, we are now starting in April and ends by the end of June. We are now in the process of submitting tax returns for those people. Now, imagine that you sell your property in January or February in England and you decide to come immediately.
Yeah.
And you come in February or March. What happens? That you will be considered fiscal resident in Spain because you are going to live in any year, it doesn't matter, 22, 23, whatever, more than 6 months. Those that are fiscal residents in Spain do have to declare for all the income worldwide. Your income is formed by your pension, by your salary, by your interest from banks, dividends, anything that you may have. Selling a property in your country or anywhere else is subject to pay capital gains, of course, if there is any profit on that. So you may not pay any taxes in England or in the UK because it is your main home. When you sell your main home with certain limits, you don't pay any capital gains in your country, in UK. But in Spain, we can't consider that as your main home. For us, it's a normal house. So you can have the situation that you sold your property, you make a profit, and if you were not, let's say, well advised, you can be, or you are fiscal resident in this country, and you are forced to pay, at least to declare, capital gains in Spain, which is not funny.
Yeah.
Because you can pay a minimum or between 19% and 27%. So you have to be very careful, and as I told you at the beginning, if someone in a meeting with me before coming to Spain need to keep anything, is that you need to come to Spain and stay less than 6 months in the calendar year. So if you buy you sell in February, March, you just need to come after the summer, July, August, September, but not in the first 6 months of the year.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll be subject to paying the tax on the property that they've sold you. And a lot of British people have sold up their family home, so it is a fair amount of money that they're going to be liable to pay tax on. So they need to just make sure that they speak to somebody professional about that before they commit to paying to a property here in Spain.
When people contact us and they are looking to come in the near future, I'm happy because I can tell them these things. Unfortunately, I have the other people that they are already here, they sold their property back home, and they are fiscal resident, and I cannot tell them something else than what I told you. You have to pay taxes in Spain, and not just on the property. Imagine that you have funds or ISAs or any investment that for some reason you would not pay anything in England. Do it before you come, or sell them before you come to live to Spain.
Yeah.
The same with the pensions. People decide to get the 25% release of the pension fund because you don't pay taxes in England. Again, we cannot apply this tax law in Spain. We need to apply the Spanish tax law, and that law says that you have to pay on the full amount. So anything that you need to make, let's say cash, or make money of something, and in the UK you are not going to pay anything, do it before you become fiscal resident in Spain, because the difference will be certainly difficult.
Yeah. So, and below this video in the description box, I'm going to leave a link to Alejandro's business and advisors where they can get hold of you and give you the proper, correct information. So it's always get the proper advice, because it could save you thousands in the long run.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much for all your advice, Alejandro, and thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you, David.